everybody, happy Thursday, and as promised, today I'll be talking about back to school. Back to school. And the funny thing is, and I'm sure many of people feel the same way I do, I've been out of school long enough that I forget when this comes around. But all of you remind me, so yay! Okay, so I asked on Twitter any questions you have about back to school, and I have one long question that I had pulled from, I think, the website, but possibly YouTube. For any of you who are trying to figure out how to get your questions answered, I find them on YouTube below the Monday video before the Thursday that I answer. So it would be my selective mutism video that I put out on Monday. It'd be below that. Or on katimorton.com under the Q&A for videos. And I'm in there usually on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday or both days answering your questions and picking them out for today's video. So I'll read the long question, and then I have a couple other follow-ups from all of you on Twitter. So the question says, hey Katie, in the theme of back to school, even though it's the second half of the school year here, do you have any tips on overcoming stress and severe inabilities to concentrate when it comes to school? My concentration levels are so bad, and it's causing my grades to fall like crazy in one of the most important years of high school. I also struggle massively with stress, which makes my concentration worse, if that was even possible, and I just end up a complete mess and almost in tears when a teacher is trying to talk to me at school. I'm seeing a counselor and trying to work on my stress, but I really need a quick fix idea before I fail. How can I improve my concentration? Now, there are a couple things about concentration. Number one, it usually has a lot to do with how we're taking care of ourselves. Are we sleeping enough? Are we eating properly? And by properly, I mean frequently enough, healthy, a variety of foods. I don't even like the term healthy, just a variety of foods that your body would need. Are we doing that? Are we maybe getting out and walking for like 30 minutes 3 times a week? Maybe we need to take a little bit better care of ourselves. The second is also being assessed to make sure there's not something else going on. Many people struggle with ADD, ADHD, and it could be a component of the anxiety, but we want to make sure that we're getting the treatment that we need. Also, deep breathing can help when we're feeling panic and we're feeling the anxiety. It's kind of something you're going to have to talk out with your therapist a little bit more, because we need to know where this concentration struggle is coming from. Is it just from the anxiety, or is something else going on? And so I want you to consider all of those things, because when it comes to concentration, a lot of it's how we treat ourselves, potentially getting treatment for something else. Like I know with ADHD, a lot of my clients, medication is just a godsend. There's not much more that they can do. That's really it, other than diet, exercise, getting enough sleep, all that stuff. And then there's also the component of making sure that your school knows what's going on with you and advocating for yourself, telling them that maybe you need a little bit more time, you're really struggling with concentration, getting a letter from your therapist. I've talked about that in a lot of videos, and I cannot say it enough. Advocate for yourself. No one else is going to do it. You have to do it. Even as an adult, if I need something, if I want something, I have to advocate for myself. I have to fight for it. Nothing just falls into our lap. We have to fight for it. So figure out what it is you need. Talk to your teachers, talk to your counselor at school, talk to whoever is in charge of student services, and make sure that you're getting the services that you need and deserve, okay? Now, the other questions that I got are how to not put so much emphasis on grades, and if grades don't come out exactly as we hoped, how do we move past that? And I think a lot of that is self-talk and that kind of black and white thinking, that all or nothing. I have a video about that, and I'm going to link it right here, black and white thinking, because we don't have to get 100% in every class. Not all of us are great at every subject. I know I'm not. I did not enjoy, and this is really bizarre, but I did not enjoy a lot of my English classes until I had a really great teacher. I didn't really enjoy it. I also never enjoyed math. And I didn't even use statistics. It's bullshit. I'm not in research. Why do I even need to know that? But we're not all great in all of the subjects. So know that. We're all unique and wonderful, and that's what makes the world go round. We don't need all engineers or all doctors. We need a variety of people doing a variety of things. So focusing on the things you're doing well, know that you're doing the best you can, and change that self-talk. Talk back to that voice that's like, you gotta do it all, blah, blah, blah. You're stupid if you don't get 100%, because it's full of shit. We just do the best we can. Okay, next question. How to deal with school anxieties and pressure to do well. Like stated just now about the grades, I think a lot of it has to do with our own expectations that we place on ourselves, because I want you all to understand that if someone else has an expectation for you, it could be a parent, a teacher, a friend, another family member, a coach, could be any number of people. I want you to know that you don't have to accept that, okay? You don't have to accept that. You only have to accept what you believe you need to. So I want you to consider that. I know that there's a lot of pressure to do well, but it's only the pressure that you have to put on yourself. Just because people think you have to do a certain thing doesn't mean that you really believe that. So I want you to take some time for yourself. I want you to think about what's important for you. And I want you to recognize what classes are important, what things you want to work on. Is it that you'd like to put more emphasis into your art? Is it you'd like to put more emphasis into the music or sports or whatever? Make sure that you're putting the pressure on yourself for things that are actually important to you. Okay, and then how to deal with bullies. Well, we ignore them. And I know that that's hard. And I know that you wish it was simple and like, boom, but we have to talk to people in charge who can protect us to some extent. If it's getting dangerous and we're worried about getting hurt, we have to distance ourselves from them. Try to not be alone with them ever. If you can hold it and not go pee because you know that that jerk is in there, hold it. If you can wait and talk to your teacher until everybody's left class so that the bully is out and then you get to go to class on your own, do that. If you have to stay with your friends in a little group until they drop at your class, do that. Whatever you can do to protect yourself, because usually I find bullies pick on people when they're by themselves. And that, if we're just not by ourselves that much, that can kind of deter them. Also reaching out to friends and to teachers and other people to make sure that other people know what's going on and can be there for us and support us. But bullies are usually just really unhappy people, and I find if you just ignore them and don't give them any response, they usually find someone else to pick on because they want that response. They want the face that's like, or they want you to cry, or they want you to scream, or they want you to fight back. And I find if we just boo, don't give them any response, they often get bored and move on. And I know that it's hard, but it may be best for the school year if you start that early and be done with it. Okay? Thank you so much for your questions on Twitter and for the ones on YouTube and KatiMorton.com. And I will see you all on Saturday with the journal topic. If you have a good journal topic, put it below. I love you all. I'll see you then. Bye!